But look, I really believe that thanks to SpaceX, we're at the very beginning of a completely new era in space that I think most people really can't fathom what's going to come over the next 10 and 20 years. If you want to understand more deeply, I have a friend named Casey Handmer, who's a friend from grad school, who I think is one of the most brilliant minds and writers in terms of writing about what Starship is going to do for the future.
Where does he write? On X or?
He writes a blog. If you Google Casey Handmer, you will find his stuff. And anyone that follows space probably knows who he is. But in AI right now, people have refound Jevons paradox, which is an idea from economics, which is basically if you drop the cost of something, then demand will go up by a much bigger amount. Like if you drop the cost of AI inference by a factor of 10, like demand will go up by a factor of, call it 100. If you just look at the curves of what's happening to the cost of launch, it's crazy. And with Starship, we're going to drop another couple orders of magnitude. And I don't think anyone can tell you exactly how that's going to play out. But I think Starlink is one of the best businesses of all time, like genuinely one of the best businesses of all time. If you compare the public Starlink revenue numbers or estimates to the revenue growth of, say, AWS, Starlink has grown way faster than AWS and like way more profitably. It's just this insane business. And I don't think Starlink will be the last great space infrastructure business. Like if I were to guess, I think that in 20 years, there'll probably be like 5 Starlink level businesses. It's hard to say exactly what they'll be. I have some ideas. I'm not sharing all the alpha.
Let's talk about it backstage.
And I also, we can talk about it backstage. Elon is obviously very committed to Mars. And if I'm being honest, 5 years ago when we first did major investment in SpaceX, as someone that loves space, I was thrilled to pioneer Mars and as an important thing for humanity, was thrilled by that. But as an investor in the company, I didn't fully understand the value of it. And I'm now at a point where I really believe that through the process of building a fully self-sustaining city on Mars, which is SpaceX's goal, with an estimate of, call it 25 years from now, having about 1 million people on Mars, I think that in that process, all of the second and third order businesses that are going to get created is going to be incredible. For example, like SpaceX is going to have to figure out or some other company is going to have to figure out vertical farming, going to have to figure out energy. I think that a lot of that will be solar, but some of it might be nuclear. I think that we'll have to improve surgical robots, going to have to improve communications technology, just on and on and on. I think something that people talk about with NASA in the 60s and 70s is there were a lot of spin-out technologies that benefited the public sector that came from when you're focused on this really, really constrained hard problem, which is some space application. It forces you to come up with very innovative solutions, and then those have consumer applications. And I think as we enter this era where we're actually trying to build a city on Mars, the spin-out technologies are going to be incredible.